Hi, it's Chris at the Quilter's Nook, and today's Studio 180 design technique is Birds of Paradise. So this is going to finish up our square squared techniques, and this is a fun one to do. We are going to do a 3x6 size, and when we do that, we can use our regular square squared tool. If you go any bigger than that, you're going to need the large square squared. And the large square squared has two parts. We have the part that has the trimming on it. And then we also have the part that does the center square trim. Okay, so this is a 2-pack set. So if you go bigger than 6 inches, you're gonna need to use the large square squared. But we're gonna stick with just the small square squared. And we're gonna do this guy right here. And he is the Bird of Paradise unit. So with this unit, we have 4 fabrics. We have fabric 1, fabric 2, fabric 3, and fabric 4. Fabrics 1, 2, and 3, we need 1 square each, and we're gonna cut them diagonally, corner to corner, twice. So these are gonna be quarter square triangles that we're gonna use for these 3 pieces. The fabric 4, we only need 2 squares of this fabric, and we're gonna cut them once diagonally, okay? So these get cut twice diagonally, these get cut once diagonally. So what we're gonna start off with is making our center square. So we're gonna take fabric 1 and fabric 2, and we're gonna put them right sides together, line them up, sew a nice 1/4 inch along the long side, and we're gonna end up with a half square triangle. So why don't we make a half square triangle to begin with, Chris? Well, because it just didn't work quite right math-wise, and it got a little wonky. So Deb decided it would be better if we just went the quarter square triangle route. So we're going to start by trimming this center to a center for a 3-inch finished block. And I'll show you how that's going to work. So we've got this common diagonal right through here. And we're going to put it just like we were going to square up a half square triangle. And here it says center square for a 3-inch finished block. Okay. And that's what we're going to trim on. All right, so get him in there. And we're going to trim. Turn it around. Line it up again with the outside edges and your common diagonal. Trim again. All right, now we have the center of our unit. And we press to the fabric 1 fabric, by the way. So now we're gonna add fabric number 3. We are going to be adding it to the fabric 2 side. So in this case, to the white, okay? So we're gonna set these up like this. Let me turn it around so you can see it. I don't do very well upside down and backwards, but we're gonna give it a try today. So this is what we're shooting for, right here. When we put on these triangles, you have a right angle here and a right angle here. So we're gonna take one, put it right sides together, line it up, and we're gonna turn it over, and we're gonna sew along that side right there. Anytime that we precision cut a piece, that's what's always going to be on top. And we did that precision trimming with our tool. So we want that on top, just so it maintains a good, maintains a good size. There we go. All right, so we're going to sew across there, and you're going to press to the blue. And then we're going to put it on the other side, do the same thing. turn him over, sew on the white, so that when you're done, you have this nice little guy right here. Okay, lined up, everything's lined up beautifully. And now we have to add our 2 fabric 4 squares. And we're gonna do it in the same manner. But if you look at this, we don't have a right angle to match up with this right angle. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold this and find the center of this little triangle, and he's gonna sit right at this intersection. So we're gonna set him right there at that intersection, and we're gonna turn it over, and you have just a little bit hanging out. That's quite all right. Everything's oversized, and you're gonna do your nice 1/4 inch sewing right there. And then you'll press to your blue, and we'll do the same thing to the other side. We'll find our center. We'll put that little notch right at our intersection. We'll turn him over, line it up really nice, and sew. And when you do that, you end up with this guy right here. Now we are ready to do some trimming. So we're gonna start by trimming our fabric 4. And we are gonna put, this is a 6-inch finished block, 6x3 is what this is. So we're gonna put the 6X right at the nose. Our lines are gonna come right across our seam lines. And we are going to trim. We're going to turn him around. This time, we're going to put our 6 again right there in our little notch, and you'll see this 3.5 line right here going across the bottom. We're going to scoot this over just a little bit, so that we're at 6 by 3.5. Okay. And we are going to trim. And there you have a nice bird of paradise unit. Okay. And this is just like the stack squares we did last time. If you look at the bottom, there's a bunch of different options that you can use instead of a half square triangle in the center. So this is another fun thing that you can do. You can also use these as sides to a square, sides to a square and a square. So birds of paradise, a fun little unit, maybe a little bit more complicated than some, but take your time and it will come out beautifully for you. So I hope you enjoy the square squared, and we'll have a new tool for you next time.